If you have ever felt like your brain is a multi-ring circus with a dozen clowns juggling flaming chainsaws while riding unicycles, then this is for you. We are here to talk about how to conquer the beast of academic study alongside your personal responsibilities. And let me tell you, it's not as hard as the time I tried to assemble IKEA furniture with only a butter knife and a dream. Imagine this, you are a monkey, right? A rather ambitious monkey, I might add, and there, glistening, tantalizing inside a glass jar is a banana. You reach in, you grab it, you pull, and your fist gets stuck because you are holding on to the delicious sugary prize. And now you're just a primate with a snack induced dilemma. Sound familiar? That banana, my friends, is all those goals you have got: career aspirations, academic achievements, even just getting through Monday without wanting to hibernate until spring. And that jar, that's the messy, glorious chaos of life with all its juggling act: academics versus personal responsibilities, the gnawing fear of failure, the pressure to impress your family, and that ever present threat of burnout and mental health challenges. Oh, and let's not forget the existential dread of trying to understand complex subjects or finding motivation for courses that feel as exciting as watching paint dry. But here's the kicker, the secret sauce, the aha moment that will make you feel like you just discovered cold fusion. All these problems, they have one solution, and it comes from a wise but mysterious source I like to call Chigri, who once dropped this truth bomb: there is no personal or professional goals, only purpose. Mic drop. So how do we free ourselves from the banana jar? It all starts with a mindset shift, and not just any mindset, my friends. We are talking about the ruthless winner mindset. Picture this, it's a war. Your goals are the enemy territory you are about to conquer, and in war there's a time to fight, a time to plan, and yes, even a time to eat and enjoy the spoils. But until that war is won, the fight is the most important thing, and planning is the first priority. So what's your plan, soldier? You need to know deep in your bones why and how your current grunt war connects to your glorious future vision. Only then, my friends, will that automatic motivation kicks in like a well-oiled machine for everything you work on. Think about it. Studying math might feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. But what if I told you it's the first mile of a 10-mile marathon, and if you win, you get $100,000? Suddenly, those quadratic equations looks a whole lot sexier, don't they? In short, your purpose is your vision. It's what you want something to be, or in this case, what you want to be in the future, or what you want your life to be. Define it clearly, and only then can you start breaking it down. Purpose leads to goals, goals break into milestones into objectives, objectives into projects, and projects into tasks. And suddenly, my friends, you are not just running a marathon, you are singing the whole darn ball game. Now, a word of caution, my aspiring visionaries. Your purpose can't be I want to reduce global warming. While noble, it's about as practical as trying to teach a cat to play the piano. Your purpose has to be practical, something within your control, not something outside of it. Let's say you are cruising along in your trusty Ford Fiesta, heading to college. The car in your control, the door also in your control. The rogue truck hurtling towards you in traffic jam, not so much. But here's the genius part. If you find yourself in a controlled space like a traffic jam, because let's be real, traffic jams are God's way of testing our patience, and that brake fail truck is incoming, you can open the door and run in another direction, reaching your destination some other way. You get what I'm saying, right? So if you want to be doctor, your purpose could be I want to become a brain surgeon by December 2035. Specific, audacious, and within your control. Well, mostly. You still gotta pass those exams. Now that you have got your purpose dialed in, it's time to play architect of your future self. Grab a notepad, or if you're fancy, a digital note like OneNote, and title it boldly My Future Persona. Underneath that, write down in bold font: profession, basic routine, hobbies, extra. In profession, what are you doing to rack in the dough? Be specific. In basic routine, when are you waking up? What are you eating at 8 a.m. on a Monday, the first week of June 2034? When are you hitting the hay? Get the picture? In hobbies, what cool, fulfilling things are you doing for fun in 2034? Are you mastering the kazoo? Becoming a competitive thumb wrestler? In extra, this is your super secret section. Family structure, personal stuff you wouldn't show anyone. You know what I mean. Now here's where it gets strategic. Bold the parts you want to be negotiable. Things that can be adjusted by situation, like hobbies or parts of your basic routine. These are your flexibility points, your avenues for enjoyment and happiness. Then highlight the parts you want to be non-negotiable. This is your core, your unshakable foundation. Think profession, core values like I don't beg, a classic Chigrism, or your personal framework or boundaries. You know, early humans were absolute beasts. They would throw spears at mammoth, then retreat and watch like shadows, just dark silhouettes in the distance. The mammoth would run, try to rest, and then bam, those shadowy figures would reappear, sending it into another panic sprint. This would go on until the mammoth collapsed, and then easy peasy, dinner time for the humans. They didn't rely on brute strength alone. They used a ruthless strategy, refined it, and sustained their stamina. And guess what? Our power, my friends, is in the tribe, or as I like to call it, the community. That's why I have created a haven for students like us, overwhelmed by academics and personal responsibility. The Ruthless Winners group on Telegram. Join us and become part of something special. Because even if you are a lone wolf, you will still get eaten by a pack of hyenas. Just saying. So you have got your purpose, your future persona, and your tribe. Now what? Goals, baby. Goals are simply the destinations you want to reach. Your vision might be still a little fuzzy, like a dream after a really good nap, but you are starting to see the outline. Now it's time to break down your purpose into individual goals. Let's go back to our aspiring brain surgeon. To become one, you will need a whole laundry list of goals. Pre-medical education, medical school, internship, residency in general surgery, residency in neurosurgery, board certification, entrance exams like MCAT, licensing, and developing crucial skills like manual dexterity, cognitive ability, working under pressure, and communication. The next step is putting these goals in the right order and giving each an estimated time so you can see the whole ball game. It's like planning an epic road trip, but instead of gas stations, you are stopping at medical school completion and board certifications. Before we break down goals into milestones, let's talk about your personal arsenal. What skills, knowledge, and personality traits do you need? Your future persona, that you 2.0, is more successful than you are now, right? They have got certain skill sets, certain key knowledge, and that sets them apart. So identify the industry you are aiming for and start building those skills and knowledge accordingly. As you journey through life, you will discover that some popular wisdom quotes are actually true. You will learn them by doing, by producing results, and your version will come with your own unique experience. One of my personal nugget of wisdom, one that might be considered illegal to say out loud in its full context, is use what's in your control and abuse what's not. Think about it. And personality, develop one your peers can trust with minimal doubt. Here's a fun exercise. Every week, set a rule you absolutely will not break, no matter what. And trust me, you will break it. Figure out why. At the end of the month, modify one rule and elevate it to divine rule status. These little habits will forge a personality that makes you stand out from the crowd. Now, the heavy lifting, breaking goals into individual milestones. Think of it like drawing a human body. First, you draw the outline. Then you add details like muscles and eyes. If it looks like a dog at this stage, you go back and redo the outline. Measure twice, cut once, as the carpenters say. The first step is defining what singular incident will confirm that your goal has been achieved. This part is so powerful, it can even change the parent goal itself. Let's say your goal is get a job at Apple as an intern in the design team for Apple Watch by December 2031. What incident proves that goal is achieved? Is it the confirmation letter? Is it you working with 3 other freshers on a watch design project at 10 a.m. on a Monday? Is it the first salary hitting your bank account visible on your cash app? Or is it the giant TV you bought your parents with the first Apple salary? Because if you got fired before that first paycheck, that goal was a Google Sheet goal, if you know what I mean. A lot can happen between getting hired and getting paid. So you need to be aware of what to do and what not to do before that first salary arrives. For me, if I were setting that goal, it would be I bought a 35-inch Samsung TV on Amazon with my first salary from my job at Apple on December 25th, 2031. Because a goal without a time frame is like a boat without a radar. It's just drifting. So how do you break goals into milestones? Simple. Milestones are just plans to reach your goal. Set a proper goal, then plan how you will achieve it. Break it into multiple steps with timeline that leads to the ultimate goal. Let's take a goal, have $1 million by December 2034. How can you achieve that? Let's say by creating YouTube videos. To get to a million, you might need to earn $20,000 per month for 4 years, plus an extra 60K. So your first milestone could be earn $20,000 per month from my YouTube channel by some date. The second, $10,000 per month. Third, $1,000 per month. Fourth, monetization. Then you will plan how to monetize, how many videos, on what subject, and by when. Eventually, you will spot flaws in your plan, like realizing that to earn $20,000 a month, you need to build a company or some other revenue stream. Basically, building a brand. As you create videos and see growth, you will learn things that you didn't knew before. The beauty of this, when you are working on that first milestone, you are not wasting time on building a future company that's still years away. You know you will get there eventually, but it's not the time right now. This is why we often get stressed about current college work and part-time jobs and the uncertainty of the future. By creating your purpose and breaking it into goals and milestones, you see the entire route, and suddenly you are not stressing about unnecessary things. Now it's time to get down to brass tacks. What are you going to work on this month, this week, and tomorrow? For that, we break milestones into objectives, objectives into projects, and projects into tasks. Let's say one of your milestone is graduate with 95% marks this year. One of your objectives could be write a 1,000-word essay on the 5 whys technique. Breaking that down further would give you projects like research about the technique, first draft, and final draft. Breaking those objectives down leads to your current project list. Projects are simply a series of tasks linked to a goal with a deadline. For our objective, research about the 5 whys technique, you might have the following projects. Initial information gathering about 5 whys technique. Understand basics of the technique and finding gaps. And finally, extended information gathering. Breaking those projects into tasks could look like this. List of all topics about this technique. List of things I need to gather more information on. Which website, books or sources to gather information on. My biggest suggestion, and this is the game changer, is to develop a project based mindset, not a time based one. This task for this project, that task for that project. Done. Every day prioritize your top 3 most important tasks and add them to a task manager app like Anydo or Todoist. Stress, my friends, comes from two things: lack of clarity and cognitive load. To combat this, I highly recommend the Para system in your digital note app. Whether it's OneNote, Evernote or Notion, create these notebooks. Zero inbox. This is your digital dumping ground. Quick ideas, articles clipped from your Chrome extension, everything goes here initially. Then one projects. Create section for each ongoing project and save all related information here. Two areas. This is for your big projects or ongoing personal responsibilities that need maintenance. Three resources. Your ongoing interests live here. Sales topics, psychology stuff, anything you are actively learning about. Four archives. This is your digital attic. Dump past projects, areas or resources that are no longer active here. This system is like having a perfectly organized digital brain, reducing mental clutter and allowing you to focus on what matters. Now go forth, my fellow ruthless winners. Implement these strategies today and come back to the Ruthless Winners group, link in the description obviously, and tell us what changes you see. Like, share, subscribe, and thanks for joining me on this wild ride. Now let's go conquer some mammoths and some textbooks.